And we continue to follow our breaking news out of Bedford County, where a CXX train derailed from the tracks in Hyman this morning. Right now, our 6 News team is on the scene of the train derailment in Hyman, Bedford County, and we have just confirmed within the hour with the governor's office, the Governor Tom Wolf is on his way to the area. Take a look at this. Governor Wolf's office releasing this statement saying the Commonwealth is coordinating a comprehensive response with local and federal agencies. He's urging residents to follow evacuation directions and all warnings from first responders. Now, this is view from that massive fireball above that you just saw, still burning this afternoon. 8 hours after a train derailed from its track in southern Bedford County. This aerial footage taken around 11 this morning of the wreckage as it burns. The entire town of Hyndman, we know that it's not very big, but the entire town has been evacuated from their homes. And you can see the view from above. The train cars piled up almost like matchbox toys. Some of them engulfed in flames, others resting in yards, some of them tearing up homes in their paths. Miraculously, we have not heard of any injuries in this derailment. We have not heard of any deaths. The damage still unclear as people and first responders in Hyman have been evacuated, moved far away from town. The evacuation area, a 1-mile radius, we're told, with most people being taken even miles further to churches and organizations. We have several news crews in that area, miles outside of Hyman as per those evacuation orders. And we do have Erica Stanish, who is standing by at a church, Erica, about 7 miles away. This is just one of the areas where people are being taken to. What can you tell us?
Absolutely, Jen. We're about 7 to 10 miles, I'd say, away from Hyman, where many residents are here inside of Tri-State Ministry right behind me. They have food and water supplied here by community donation. This is after I was in Hyman earlier, and officials were going door to door urging residents to get out now, as they were afraid that one of those rail cars could explode. Inside is liquid petroleum gas, and they say that they were worried about that. So everyone is here again within a 1-mile radius from that scene. They've been evacuated. This is one of those locations, again, going door to door to get everyone to leave now. And authorities again believe it was liquid petroleum gas that could have exploded. That's their biggest concern. Emergency crews are down there trying to assess the situation. You can't see smoke from about a mile away. When you're a mile away, that is from Hyman, not from where we're standing. From where we're standing, you really can't see much. You just see emergency crews pouring in here, and we're learning that we could get an update from CSX about 2 o'clock, so that's 15 minutes from now. Again, emergency crews are evaluating their options, collecting data down at the scene. Everyone at the original evacuation center, which was Hope for Hyman School, they've been evacuated to here. And officials say once they resolve the tank issue down on the tracks, CSX also has to go in and make sure that no other rail cars could begin to leak, and everything obviously has to be very safe before this town can move back into their homes. We will be here all day working to learn the very latest. Again, an update at around 2 o'clock. We're hearing from CSX to hear what is the latest down on the tracks. But for now, everyone is inside the Tri-State Ministry. And Jen, for now, back to you.
Erica, this seems like this is going to be a story we'll be covering from some time, something that will take days, if not weeks, to clean up and recover from. I know they're going to have that update at 2 o'clock, but any idea, are you hearing anything about how long it will take for this to burn off?
I actually did just talk to one of the officials here with emergency management. He said it's going to be several hours at the least for them to even be able to begin to see that flame go down. Now, again, I haven't heard that from CSX, who's down there assessing the situation at this time. So for now, all residents that are here are being told to either stay here or stay away from town, and continue, down the road, if anything, to make sure that they're at the safest location possible.
Erica, one of the things you guys have had to move quite a bit, first responders have had to move. There's a real sense of urgency with what's happening there. Can you describe that for us?
Well, Jen, I got to town around, let's say 11:30, and immediately all the fire trucks that were in the parking lot where I was were leaving. And eventually they came over and said, you know, I can't explain to you how urgent this is right now, but you've got to leave. You've got to get out of here. So they set up a camp, I guess you could say, about 4 miles down the road at that point. That's where the majority of fire trucks and state police are. This is about 6 miles from that location. That's why I said I thought we were about 10 miles out. With other emergency crews here setting up, and this is where all residents, I can see just several more cars moving in right now. And again, just that door to door, you know, having officials run door to door to get everyone out. You know, I'm sure many residents here are not really sure what's happening. They don't know if their homes will be safe, but again, we know that we're safe here, miles away. But like you said, a big sense of urgency, you know, to be safe and get out in case something could happen.
Really, that's important to follow that advice from first responders, even the governor's office itself, as there have been no reported deaths or injuries at this time. Erica Stanish live for us in Hyndman at the Hyman Ministry Church. Thanks for that. In the meantime, CSX has set up a community outreach center at that Hyman Ministry Church where we just heard from Erica. Anyone impacted by the train derailment and evacuation can ask questions there. Plus, we want to give you this right now. CSX has set up a phone number. Community members are urged to call this number, the number on your screen, 1-800-331-4031. CSX said it is committed to helping those displaced. They're going to provide food, lodging, transportation, anything that people may need to those affected in the area. Again, call CXX at 1-800-331-4031. We want to get back a minute to the events that happened this morning. If you're just joining us, we've learned the train was traveling from Chicago to the Albany, New York area. CXX says that at least 32 rail cars derailed, some of which contained hazardous materials. At least one rail car containing liquefied petroleum gas and at least one car containing molten sulfur have leaked. They're on fire. CXX hazardous material experts are working alongside with first responders, firefighters to assess the scope of the damage, develop a plan to contain the leaks, and set up environmental protective measures and monitoring. Those on the scene say that you can see smoke getting higher and faster. As we said earlier, the command post moved to Hyman Ministry as officials say it's no longer safe at the medical center where media and other first responders were originally being held. So if you are still in the Hyman area, you need to leave. You need to leave right now. We're hearing some reports of people who do not want to leave their homes. They're refusing to move. You need to get out right now to stay safe. This derailment has been really challenging for both first responders, even our news crews as well. Katie O'Toole moved to an area where she could get cell service to tell us what she encountered while gathering information near the scene in Hyman earlier. Katie.
Yeah, Jen, right now I'm a bit north of Hyman toward Bedford so that I could have some cell service to be able to communicate with you and folks at home. So I got to the scene right around 10:30, and I'll tell you, it was already looking like a ghost town. The businesses were closed with emergency signs on their doors. The streets were closed, and they were pretty empty. And shortly after that, firefighters started to tell everyone who was outside they were not safe there. Shortly after that, they started to go around on ATVs screaming at houses with people inside to get out immediately. And neighbors knocked on each other's doors doing the same. It was really a whole town effort. And also school buses rode around to pack in anybody who didn't have a car or couldn't get out on their own. I talked to a landlord as we were sort of on the run, and he said that his apartment tenants were having a lot of trouble getting out. They knew they had to evacuate, but they just weren't able to. And during all of this, you talked about that sense of urgency. You could physically see the smoke tower rising and blowing toward the town. It was definitely a scary situation. One firefighter told me he could not express the urgency with which I and every single other person needed to get out of town. Doesn't matter where, just get out. And also, as we were running out of town, I talked to a couple who said their house was very close to the derailment. They said it blew their windows in at 5 o'clock this morning on the nose, hoping to get back in touch with them once they're safe. But for now, we're definitely just staying within at least a mile radius outside of town. And I'm looking like I'm stuck north a little bit. They're not letting anyone go south on 96. So I'm sticking with firefighters at a church on 96, but definitely staying a little bit north. And they also said, the firefighters there at that church said that they are on standby in case this does blow north, but they said it hasn't done that yet. The problem seems to be south.
Katie, I have to tell you, when we got your initial email in our newsroom, it was very cryptic. Get out now. In the words of that firefighter that you were passing on to us to get on the air, that it is just not safe to be in that area.
Absolutely. As I was typing that email, I was in one single sweet spot at the medical center of service. And I told the firefighter, I just need to type this email so the rest of our crew knows to also get out. And he said, you are in immediate danger. You need to leave now. So that's about all I could physically type at that point before I had to get in the car and go.
Well, Katie,
definitely,
we really appreciate your coverage. Stay safe out there. And again, to those watching, listening to this developing story, it is not safe to be in the Hyman area right now. We're doing our best here at 6 News to cover this story, get you the information in the safest manner that we can. We're told some of the families who were originally sheltered at the Hyman Charter School are being bused to outlying hotels as well. I wanted to mention that in case you're trying to catch up with some loved ones or hear back from loved ones. Right now, we're being told that everybody is okay, that there are no reported injuries. So try to be patient. I'm sure you'll hear from your friends and family. We're also still trying to learn the entire impact this derailment will have when it comes to train travel. We know the railway that runs through Hyman is part of Amtrak's Capital Limited route. An Amtrak spokesman tells us passenger travel has been affected. Passengers in Washington, D.C. and Pittsburgh are now also being transported by buses. There are a lot of road closures in Bedford County and beyond to tell you about. If you can, just stay away from that area. Let the first responders do their jobs. It's really going to be difficult. I know some of you may want to get down and see some loved ones. If you can communicate by phone, by computer, through email maybe, please do so, because it is just really difficult to get around. I can even tell you, just from our experience in the news department, we have had a lot of difficulties trying to meet up with each other down there. Route 96 has been closed from the Maryland state line to the intersection of Market Street and Gooseberry Road. Church Street has been closed from the Somerset County line to the intersection of Route 96 in Bedford. And Route 2019 in Somerset County has been closed from the Bedford County line to the intersection of Route 31 near Glades Pike. A local detour has been established in that area. Drivers traveling Route 96 can utilize Market Street to North 3rd Avenue to get around. Again, there's a lot of local detours that are going on, but if you can avoid that area, please do. Now, I don't know if you remember, but just 2 weeks ago on July 19th, crews were on the scene of another train derailment. That one was in Somerset County. CSX Transportation reported the derailment was caused by engineer error. It happened at about 12:30 in the morning in Turkey Foot Township near the railroad crossing along Hogback Road. As part of its investigation, Public Information Officer Rob Doolittle says CSX looks for any lessons that can be applied to future operations as they strive to achieve their goal of 0 accidents. At the time, the train was traveling from Chicago to upstate New York. No one hurt in this derailment either. We've been getting a lot of incredible videos from people in the small town of Hyndman from early this morning as the crash happened. This video right here from Jacob Kokenauer, it shows the moment one of the cars burst into flames. The video recorded by surveillance cameras outside of his home. A lot of other viewers sending us similar video and photos taken from their cell phones. If you can, please keep sending that in. It helps tell the story and show the impact that this is having on the village of Hyman. In the meantime, we want to let you know we have complete coverage of this derailment and evacuation on our website, WJACTV.com, and our Facebook page. You can go there anytime to see the latest developments. Our crews will stay in Hyman throughout the day. Again, we're expected to learn some more information here just minutes away from now. Be sure to tune in and keep it here on 6 News for more on this developing story.